Hey, what's up, Chill? I think we're going to have a super light crowd today. Terraversary just made that big announcement yesterday, and they're starting up a Twitter space now. So a lot of the folks are going to be over there. Hey, what's up, Gold Rush? Hey, what's up, Rodrigo? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you for all your work, guys. How is it going with the IDN? Are people committing to giving reports?
Yeah, it's going really good. I had a couple of big reports come in overnight from some users, but yeah, we're getting starting to gain some traction and people starting to get in there and use it. There's definitely a learning curve because IPFS is having to actually get in there and use it is to a lot of people, but other than that, going pretty good.
Nice. Working with the new protocol could be hard. Are you guys thinking of hosting your own node so people will have to just use your node to upload the information instead of hosting it somewhere else?
It's definitely an option. The more we move on, the more I'm thinking about it, suggesting it, because we want to keep everything obviously as decentralized as possible. But if we can offer another tool that could be helpful, kind of limit some of that learning curve and some of those difficulties, I think it might be better.
So exciting. I was thinking of hosting it maybe with 10 gigas maximum to begin with for people who are delegating in the pool as a service. So I thought if you guys wanted to, I could also host it in one of the servers.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. I'll take a note of that right now and I'll bring it up to the guys and see what everybody thinks about it. Yeah, I just added a note for that. No, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that offer. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And more people could be able to participate. I think the project it's really good and it could bring a lot of value to the ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. We're just going to have to get more eyes on it and get people aware of the process. From what I've seen so far, that's definitely going to be the tricky spot is the hosting of all the files and stuff. Is everybody's familiar at least with IPFS and what it does, but nobody actually ever really has to use it themselves. And so that opens a whole new door.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy for you guys, and I hope this come handy. Nice. So excited about your progress. I will keep talking to the delegators in the Spanish-speaking community about it, and I hope in somehow you guys need translators. I could ask if people are willing to do it also.
That's awesome, dude. And yes, absolutely. We will definitely need that. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's actually going to be part of the ITN. I can't remember what phase exactly it is, but we're definitely going to want to do some translations and get the site and the platform as many languages as possible. And there's a lot, I know there's a lot of 3D printers and designers in the Spanish speaking communities. So there's definitely a lot of people there that could use the service.
Yeah, with all the COVID stuff that happened and the 3D printers was go the trend to help bring supplies for the respirators. So there is more awareness and there is more people doing them stuff. So as you said, there is a big community. I thought about it, but it is kind of hard. But setting up with doctors and around the world could help to bring prosthesize. I don't know the word in English. When you lose your hand or you lose your arm or you need a hip replacement, all those things could be built on distance and shipped.
Yeah, that's right. I was actually reading an article just a few days ago about that prosthesis and prosthetics and how that's evolving in the 3D printing industry. There's a lot of that going on now, a lot of research. So we could definitely make big waves there too.
Yeah, I don't know how expensive it's in the States, but in Chile, for example, piece of fake hip, a piece of hip could be from $2,000 to $5,000, and it have the repercussions of in the body and all these products and can be built with the 3D printing technology are way more easy to handle to the body and the materials are biocompatible. It's just super sweet. We are in a new era.
Yeah, that's 100% right. I know a guy, Nicholas Zamorano. He lives down in Chile, and I know him through flying model airplanes or whatever. Totally different hobby, but I know he's got a bunch of guys that he hangs out with down there that are 3D printing stuff for that industry too. Wherever it is that he goes and flies, they actually have a 3D printers set up there at their flying site just so they can make replacement parts if they break something.
Nice. Can I ask you, Chris, something that is not related to the project, but it's about you?
Yeah, go for it, brother.
I see you fixing old furniture and houses. Do you do it for fun? It looks like the other day you were pointing some names in an old wood, and it looked really romantic. And I think it's fun, dude. How you get to be in between the computer world and also working with wood.
I guess it's just a hobby. Well, it's I guess kind of necessity now because we live in our house is 100 and almost 180 years old. We're basically going through it like top to bottom as we can, repairing stuff and refreshing things. So I mean, I like working with wood and doing stuff like that anyway. It's fun.
Thank you. I'm glad to know more about you.
I appreciate that, brother. That's cool. Gold Rush, what's up, homie? You still with us or did you get rugged?
No, I'm grinding in the fiat mine. I actually came up just to ask you how the test net was going and all that stuff, but then you got into a conversation and I got a little busy, so I've just kind of been listening to you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's going good. Kind of a slow start, but that's kind of to be expected. But it's hard to tell how many people are actually using it until they start submitting reports. But we've been getting a lot of reports, at least one report a day since we started, sometimes multiple. So that's good. Finding little issues here and there, which is the whole point. There won't be a shortage of things for us to fix, which is, I mean, that's good. We want to get all these little things figured out and found before we start trying to transition over to mainnet. But I'm really happy with that, how everything's going right now.
Yeah, I'm not able to get into the test net. My main computer died on me, so I have been trying to spread the word about it, though. I've been trying to retweet you guys as much as possible. I know you need the people in there. Otherwise, nobody will discover all the problems.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, it looks like the word's starting to get around and more awareness is starting to grow. It's been such a long, long process to get to where we are now. And there's a lot of people in the space who know they know who a Doja is, but they might not really know what we're doing. It's good to finally see some of that starting to be spread around and awareness coming and all that. Well, Rodrigo, I mean, we got a pretty intimate group here, just four of us. Well, how did you get started in Cardano? What brought you to the space?
In 2017, I read about it, but I couldn't get to work in the network. So I started mining Ethereum. And then I started having like world around Latin America because I was in charge of chemical company for mining real mining products. And, I didn't have time to set up the equipment. And during the COVID crash, like I got fired and I decided to go like all in Cardano. And no, I'm lying. I decided to go with 3D print and I printed the pieces for the respirators, breathing, helping devices for people. And 3D printing was cool. It is really nice, but it didn't help me with mass production. Maybe like I could make 500 pieces a month and I had like a Sortrax M200. So I was like doing okay. I could sell some, but it wasn't able to sustain the house. So I was like, I need to work in something that I could do from home, then it can be secure, and it's something that I kind of know. So I asked for some help, and I didn't manage to participate in the IDM, but as soon as Shelly was up, I decided to run the node. And like I do martial arts, I did political science, but my background related to computers wasn't so big. So it's been a huge challenge to learn. And I'm really glad then I decided to commit to it because it's really exciting to see how working with this technology brings me to a huge community around the world. It brings me to knowledge to diverse topics and I don't know, from like running servers and learning Linux. I've been trying to get in touch with some PhD on computer science, trying to write a Cardano book for people to learn Haskell and all the basics. We didn't do it successfully on Catalyst last round, but I just like the space and want to keep building and helping with the skills that I have. So that's how I started, and this is how it's going.
That's awesome, man. And you know what? That is actually probably one of the best things about working in this space, in this community, is all the different people you get to meet from all over the world and get exposed to, different cultures and different thoughts and different ideas. And I think my worldview has definitely shaped a lot more for the better over the last 2 or 3 years than it has in my entire existence, just from being exposed to other people and their ideas.
Definitely, and the trend is not like slowing down. So it's so amazing, like in 5 more years, how we're gonna be able to say, hey, do you remember, like when D parameter was set to 0 10 years ago? And I see the future really bright in like the necessity of like the place where I come from, then it's Latin America. Like it is so they get or like the supply chain get.
I think your connection is slipping a little bit, Rodrigo. I caught some of that, but it started to drop out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm saying like blockchain and like new ways of money or currency are really needed in this side of the world, and it's really exciting to see then more and more like they are being used. I don't know if you've been in Argentina, but like they use it everywhere. You will see like exchanges houses, like how you see pharmacies in the city, like a couple blocks away from each other. and like everyone is related to like blockchain, or like they do like QR payments. It is fun to be like here, and as you said, like we just get to meet more and more people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's growing quite a bit in Argentina, right? I mean, I think a lot more than it is in the United States, to be honest, as far as adoption goes.
Yes, not even Latin America. All the countries have like the similar way of adoption. In Argentina is insane. They are in huge need, of course, because of how like hyperinflation hits them economy. But I think you will have people from IOG, at least five that I can think about there from Argentina, and people that work in the Cardano ecosystem as like pool operators, at least like 10. And you see conferences, and I think, I mean, they are not happy to be in the need, but definitely they are like not left behind with the technology. I think they are the edge of the arrow.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's going to start to accelerate globally too. I mean, sure, you see everything that's going on US dollar, and I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think we're too terribly far away from a hyperinflationary event there either. And honestly, I mean, I don't really necessarily perceive that to be a bad thing because it's just accelerated adoption in other places. You know, current is I think a good escape hatch for any community where they, for one, don't have the resources, but two, if they start losing the resources they do have, there's somewhere that they can go that's stable.
Yeah, but I mean, my girlfriend is from DC, and like we have been thinking about moving to the States, but I don't see it with like really optimist eyes. For example, to register the node and as a company, or an easy, really easy path. How do you see it yourself since you are there? Is it hard for you guys work with Adosia, with drip drops, like having the nodes, being in touch with the other operators? What is your thoughts of it?
There's definitely a lot more red tape to cut through. All the different things we had to do with drip drops to be legal, and there's still so much regulatory fog. We just don't know, because the guidance that we get from the federal government, it changes every few days. There's a different idea, and so you just don't ever know what is going to be the thing that draws bad attention and might get you in hot water. So honestly, I mean, if I were going to do it all over again, I might would go somewhere else and do it. And if I were outside of the United States, I don't know that I'd want to come here because of all the regulatory unclarity. Probably would have chosen a different place to do it from, somewhere that's more, I guess, friendly to innovation. But I guess we'll see. I mean, all that might change in a year or two. I mean, who knows? But now, as it looks to me, my perspective is that the United States is pushing innovation and technology offshore, for better or worse. We'll see how it goes. But from the outlook now, it's not looking too good for people who are here trying to build stuff. If I were outside of the United States, I definitely probably would not. I wouldn't have my eyes set on the United States.
Yeah, I've been trying to talk to my girlfriend about it and make her understand, but she misses her family. So it's hard for me to weigh against it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like really friendly. So Drip Drops has been like working great. All this experience setting up the business, I imagine, it will help you in the future with other ideas and other startups that you guys could create. How do you see like working with Adosia, like right now in the government?
Right now, I think we're in a good spot. We just have to make sure that we keep things fully decentralized, because I guess that's one of the angles that the government's kind of looking at now, is they're trying to pick apart things that are claiming to be decentralized that aren't. And that's one of the reasons that we built this in a way that, yeah, Adosia has a front end on top of it, but anybody could put their own front end on top of it no matter where they are, and be able to operate without Adosia. So Adosia can run without Adosia, which is kind of cool.
So like functional token, I could decide not to use it if the regulatory doesn't help. Regulatory framework doesn't allow me to use like functional tokens. I just use ADA.
Yeah, that's basically how everything is operating now, is just ADA, as far as we're concerned. We might do some stuff there later on, but yeah, I think that's just the best way to go, is just keep it in pure ADA.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That might be also the reason why DC Spark is not creating the Milk Cometa token, maybe. It's just work with ADA and make it in the decentralized layer.
Yeah, for sure. But there's some fun stuff that we could do too with side chains and stuff with the native token. And there's a couple other projects I'm working on that are looking to do some similar stuff, some side chain stuff or L2 stuff.
Nice. So like all of you guys have engineering background and are able to have like a really deep understanding of the protocol and how to work with it.
We're all engineers for the most part, but very different regimens. Like with smart contract stuff, I mean, that's pretty much all Quinn. Quinn is the guy who really understands Plutus inside and out. I couldn't tell you where to begin.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for everyone too. I've been talking with some devs somewhere like, yeah, when I was in college, my teacher will like me do some code with like the, I don't know, 14 byte limits, and I have to be able to handle it. But not everyone else is able to do that magic.
Yeah, that's right. But for the most part, everybody knows CLI pretty well and everything around running a node. Kyle, he's an electrical engineer, which he knows CLI probably as good as anybody. We all have very diverse backgrounds, which is also good, I think. My background's far more mechanical than anything.
I see. Well, logic and structural thinking, it always comes sourceful. And if everyone else have like a different opinion or point of view, and you guys have like your, was queen, like it can all work out. We're kind of like in the same way. I can do like Cardano CLI. Yeah, not an expert, but could do it, but just wanted to learn more. And well, Chris, I have to prepare now, so I have to go back to server. I wish you the best. Thank you for like letting me talk to you. It's been a pleasure. I didn't have the opportunity to do this before, so I'm really thankful for the chance.
No, thank you, Rodrigo. I hope you have a good day, man. Good luck with everything. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope we get to talk again soon. And I guess with that, we can close it out. Thanks for the guys that stopped by. If you guys are interested, hop over to the Terra Virtua space. They made a big announcement yesterday. That's really good for us. So anyway, go check those guys out. Take care, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.